Good morning guys, welcome back to our channel. As you can tell, I have made myself an iced coffee this morning. So this is literally just an iced long black. It's just coffee, water and ice because I happen to be doing some intermittent fasting this morning. I think I might have mentioned this in my previous Get Healthy With Me videos. So I have been experimenting with intermittent fasting again. So at the moment I'm just doing intermittent fasting 3 days per week and just in the mornings. So it's like a 16-hour fast where you eat dinner at like, I don't know, 7ish, and then the next day you skip breakfast or you eat like a late breakfast. So my first meal today will be at lunchtime, but in between then I'm just gonna have an iced long black because having like a black coffee doesn't have any calories in it. Obviously you could do like a herbal tea or something like that, just so long as you don't have like added milks, added sugar obviously, and I probably also wouldn't do like stevia or anything that's like mimicking sugar. But anyways, so as you saw in the previous clips this morning, I got up and I actually took myself for a walk. So this morning it was a pretty decent length walk. It was probably about 45 minutes to an hour. And I've just really been enjoying reincorporating walks into my mornings. It's something that I try to keep in the habit of doing, but sometimes you just fall out of the habit. You can get a little bit lazy, but it is something that really makes me feel good in the morning. So getting up, getting dressed, it's like forcing yourself to get dressed straight away, getting out of the house, getting that early morning sun exposure on your skin, in your eyes, which is going to help you feel more energized in the morning. It's going to help you sleep better at night because it's supporting that natural cortisol rhythm. It's kind of telling your body like, it's daytime, time to wake up and do stuff. And then of course there's also the exercise. One other thing that I like to do when I go for my walks is turn on a good podcast. It just really means that in the morning it's like, it just feels so productive. Like you're out there, you're walking, you're breathing the fresh air, you feel like holier than thou, and you're listening to a podcast, which is like, you're getting like some learning in early in the morning. Not that I always like to listen to podcasts, just kind of depends on my mood. Sometimes you feel like learning stuff and sometimes you just want to like relax and listen to some music, so there's always that option available as well. Or you can walk without anything in your ears, which is really nice too if you want to be a little bit more present, have kind of like more of a morning meditation type of thing. So yeah, that's what I have been enjoying adding into my mornings. But yes, now I have gotten home, I have gotten changed, dressed, put on my makeup. I obviously was feeling a little bit extra this morning because I decided to put in some hoops. What I thought I'd do though this morning before I kind of get on with my day is sit down and have a chat about sugar cravings, given that it was just Easter last weekend and that's kind of like what's been on my brain lately. So last weekend we actually went away for Easter. So me, Beck and the fam went over to Stradbroke and spent some time at the beach. And of course we ate a stack of chocolate. Like, I am not proud of the amount of chocolate that I ate, but you know, it's in the past, it's done. But we had like Lindt bunnies, like dark Lindt bunnies, and we also got some chocolates from The Source, like a bulk foods shop. They do a lot of like vegan chocolates and stuff like that. Not that I'm fussy about chocolate being vegan, it's generally like with less additives and stuff like that. So we bought some of them, and even though it's like vegan and like less additives, I can say 100% that it is still chock full of refined sugar. So being labeled as like vegan or paleo doesn't automatically make things healthy. So we definitely ate a stack of chocolate while we were there. And it's really interesting just like noticing, because in my day-to-day life, I don't eat much sugar. I get like the 90% chocolate. Sometimes I'll have something a little bit sweeter, but I don't tend to eat much like processed foods or anything like that. So going away and having like access to all of this chocolate literally like all day for the full 4 days. At first I was like, oh, I'll be good, I'll just have like a little bit. But then as you go on, you have like a little bit that leads to more, that leads to more, that leads to more. And all of a sudden you have like full-blown sugar cravings. And coming back home, I've just been getting kind of back into the hang of my normal healthy lifestyle and keeping up with all of my regular habits. I'm just gonna have a sip of my coffee. And I thought I would share some of my tips for kind of overcoming sugar cravings. So my very first tip is to remove high sugar items from your house, from your fridge, from your pantry. So this was kind of easy for us because over Easter we were away. So as soon as that holiday was kind of over, we made sure that all the chocolate was out and kind of like finished up while we were there. And then once I came home, I'm not like bringing anything with me. So it's not like Easter lasts a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Like just eating up like chocolate and stuff that you bought for Easter. So number one tip, yeah, would be to just get it all out of your house, because if it's in your house, you're gonna eat it. That's kind of just the way it goes, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all kind of wired the same way. So we want to seek out those high calorie, high sugar items. Sugar can be like a drug for a lot of people. So it's lighting up like the pleasure centers of your brain. So the more sugar that you have, the more you're going to kind of crave it. I think kind of in the beginning, when you're trying to wean yourself off of sugar, can also help to take out things like high sugar fruits. And I know that's like kind of a bit of a controversial thing to say these days, because there's like a band of people that are really in defense of fruit. And I'm not saying that fruit is the devil or carbs are the devil, but for people that are really highly addicted to sugar and you've been having a lot of refined sugar, having high sugar fruits on hand is going to continue to feed that addiction. So things like bananas, a really high sugar fruit. And I'm not saying either that you have to get rid of it forever, but just kind of during that period where you're trying to wean yourself off, I think it helps to just take those things away as well, to focus more on your low sugar fruits. So your things like berries, strawberries, blueberries, kiwi fruit is another good one. But yeah, so that is my number one tip. So my second tip for kicking the sugar cravings is to prepare more balanced meals that support stable blood sugar levels. For myself personally, I try to make sure that my meals always have a source of fat, a source of protein, and then some type of whole food carbohydrate generally. And then of course like an abundance of different veggies and stuff like that. But by having the protein and the fat, you're going to be providing yourself with more long-lasting, slow-burning energy. Because if you're not really eating properly and you're constantly having blood sugar crashes throughout the day, during those lows you are going to crave more sugar to kind of bring your blood sugar back up, obviously. So I think that's a really important part of it too, is just making sure that what you're eating is really balanced. And yeah, so my third tip is to keep low sugar snacks on hand. Doing like bliss balls that are low sugar I think is really handy, and making your own snacks at home is just so much healthier than buying prepackaged snacks from the shops. Like, don't get me wrong, I love myself a paleo bar, but to be honest, a lot of these bars, even if they're considered paleo or vegan, a lot of them do use a lot of sugar. So even if it's natural sugar, so a lot of them rely on like dates. So I think the best way to get around it is really to make your snacks at home. And that's going to mean that you're like not reaching and like spending money on snacks throughout the week, and it's going to be healthier. So making sure that there is a good amount of fat and protein in your snacks, because it's going to be more satiating, it's going to deliver more long-lasting energy, plus having like some things that still taste yummy that are low sugar is going to help you keep your sanity. Because if you suddenly strip your house of like all of your sources of sugar and all of your sources of like pleasure, you're gonna go a little bit insane for a while until the sugar cravings die down. So making sure that you've got some fun things that you can have. I know for myself that having snacks on hand like makes a huge difference as to how healthy I'll eat. Oh, also, we do have a recipe for our paleo keto fat balls over on Instagram. So if you're interested, you can go and check that recipe out. And my fourth tip is that if you are craving something sweet, as I mentioned before, reach for something that is a bit lower in sugar but still tastes sugary. So for example, like berries, which we were talking about before, or like things like fat balls, because it is still sweetened with a little bit of stevia. I think that having some stevia here and there is okay. I know that some people like really disagree with the use of stevia. I think it's fine, just as long as you're not having like tons of it, because it can still kind of mimic the feeling of having sugar in a way that kind of keeps the addiction alive. Most of the time in my experience, I feel like stevia isn't a big issue and it's a step up from having refined sugar. So I think it's still okay to incorporate those things here and there. Obviously making sure that you're not eating like unhealthy artificial sweeteners. Stevia is still a good option in my opinion. Another thing that's really good is having like kombucha. So that's something that I've been having so much of this week, and especially looking for a kombucha that doesn't have a lot of sugar. So the Remedy brand is pretty good. So that's one that I would recommend. And kombucha is obviously really good, especially if you're addicted to soda or soft drinks. So it kind of bridges the gap and still tastes like you're having a soft drink. And it's bubbly and delicious. And yeah, we drink a lot of kombucha here in this house. And obviously it's good for your gut health as well. And my fifth tip is to support your gut microbiome. So we've spoken about this in many different videos, so you can go back and check those out if you want to. I won't go like too much in depth because obviously gut health is a big topic, but if you're really struggling with sugar cravings, you gotta address the gut. So yeah, on kind of like a basic level, including your naturally probiotic rich foods like your sauerkraut, your kombucha, your kefir. If you do yogurts and stuff, you can do yogurt as well, but that is another aspect if you really are having trouble with sugar cravings. So that is pretty much all of the tips that I wanted to kind of touch on. My number one tip really is just to get it out of the house, especially after Easter. That's what's been helping me the most, is just not having access to that kind of stuff and getting back into my normal rhythm of how I like to eat. So even if you have gone all out on Easter, it's fine, don't feel guilty about it. The key thing is really just like coming back to your healthy habits and a good healthy routine, which is what I have been trying to do this week. So I hope that you guys found that helpful in some way. But yeah, I haven't really drank much of my coffee because I've just been talking too much. So I'm gonna like finish this, and then it's 10 at the moment. So I'm waiting till 12 for my first meal today. BTW, I'm thinking that I'll do a full video about my experience with intermittent fasting. So if that is something that you are interested in seeing and hearing about, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what your tip is for beating the sugar cravings, because I think we could all use a hand at this time of year. Okay, so it is it's actually only like 25 past 11, half 11. And I'm getting pretty hungry right now, and I'm gonna start making some lunch because lunch is gonna take a little bit longer because we have to do some sweet potatoes. As always, I'm gonna do a healthy salad bowl for lunch today. Gonna do some sweet potato and then all of the other regular stuff, avocado, probably rocket, something like that. So this morning I have actually just been editing the video that I'm planning to go up today, so it'll be up by the time this video is up for sure. It's just like a little sit down, chatty, casual video about gym confidence. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and make some lunch, cook sweet potato, and yeah, let's do it. Okay, so salad is mostly made. I'm just waiting on the sweet potato, but I actually decided that I'm gonna go ahead and make our paleo aioli because I have had a few people asking what I use for a dressing. I don't really use a dressing. I've mentioned this before, but I'll just go over it like quickly again. I don't typically use a dressing all the time on my salads, but if I do, it's like our paleo aioli, which is a super creamy like sauce that you can add to salads. It's great for all kinds of things really. And you can change up the recipe, add in different spices or whatever you want. But I won't go through the whole recipe because I have done this before in a vlog, but you can head on over to our website. You can't see this, but we have the recipe up on our website, so you can go ahead and go check that out. But yeah, I'm basically just gonna whip this up. I've got all my ingredients out in front of me. You do need a food processor though, but it's something that you can store in the fridge, use up throughout the week, and it definitely enhances a meal, especially if you're someone that loves to have like a dressing or a sauce on top of your food. So that is my recommendation for those people that have been wondering what they can do for dressing for salads and things like that. Okay, so if you do find that it is a little bit too thick, you can also add in a dash of water, which is what I am going to do. Okay guys, so lunch is all ready obviously, and I'm really excited to eat this. This is my first meal of the day and I'm pretty hungry at the moment. I was actually pretty good, doing pretty good throughout the rest of the morning. I never really felt particularly hungry, but probably partially because I was just keeping myself really busy. I've been editing that video all morning. Anyways, right now I really want some food, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat my lunch and then we'll see what else I get up to today. By the way, for anybody who might be wondering, Nick isn't with me this weekend. He's actually out on a hunting trip. I've never heard anyone really ever say that on YouTube before, speak about like the topic of hunting. So they're actually hunting deer this weekend. So the idea is that they take a deer, they also take the meat and get it butchered and everything like that. So nothing is just going to waste. Anyway, I am just at home by myself this weekend. So I'm gonna eat. Lunch is looking pretty dang good today. And the sauce kind of just like takes it to another level. Although I will say that I used like the olive oil that I used for this sauce wasn't the best. If you can get like a delicate variety, that is what I would recommend. So it's like a tiny bit bitter, but it's still good. So anyways, I'll check in with you guys later. Also, we bought a speaker not that long ago and I've pretty much just been like listening to the new Billie Eilish album, just like on repeat while I'm doing anything inside the apartment. I don't know, her album's just really good, like background vibey music too. So yeah, Billie be bringing the vibes in this apartment. But yeah, let's eat some lunch. So it is currently about 4 p.m. I'm just sitting in front of my laptop. I just posted our previous video, so the one that I spoke about a little bit earlier. So that's pretty much what I've been doing this afternoon, just getting that video organized, uploading that, doing thumbnails, etc. I mean, I had plans to like make some bliss balls this afternoon, but I realized that I don't have the ingredients for it here at home. So I think I'm actually gonna leave that until tomorrow, but I might try and squeeze in a workout this afternoon. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that the gym that I go to, actually closes on Saturdays at 6. Which is a bit lame, but I'm going to double check it. So the gym that I go to actually closes at 6:30 on a Saturday, so I'm gonna try and swing down there now. It's nearly 4, it'll take me, 20 minutes to walk down there, so I think I'm gonna try and do a workout. I'm going to do an upper body session and then maybe some ab stuff. So that's what I think I'm gonna be doing today. So I'm gonna get changed, gonna head to the gym, and if I can film anything, I will try to do it. So before we get started with this workout, please forgive the weird camera angles. This was really hard to film by myself, and it's really difficult to actually find a place to position the camera. But anyways, I got started with 500 meters on the rowing machine just to kind of warm up and get my heart rate up, get my muscles firing. And then I moved on to some assisted pull-ups. So I have been working on my pull-ups for a while, and having an assisted pull-up machine really helps. And then I also did some assisted tricep dips, but unfortunately I didn't get any footage of the tricep dips. Then I moved on to a seated row, just trying to keep things really controlled and slow. And then I did a bench press just with some free weights. So I was doing 12.5 kilos. So then I decided to do some planks. So I just like to stagger them and use my phone to kind of time how long I'm doing them for. So I start for a minute, then I take a 20-second break, then I do 40 seconds of planking, 20-second break, and another 40 seconds of planking. And then I just finished up with some Russian twists. Okay, I have just gotten home, feeling a little bit sweaty, so I might have a shower shortly, but ooh, look at that, by the way. That's where I managed to burn myself with the iron this morning. Love that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get started on dinner shortly. I think I'm just gonna do something really basic, like what you see me do fairly regularly, just like some cauliflower, sweet potato, and fish, and just do it all in the oven. We do have a small crisis though. There is no chocolate in the house and I feel like eating chocolate. Right when I was talking about sugar cravings, it's not that I'm like craving sugar. I don't know, I just want chocolate. Not necessarily like a high sugar chocolate, but just like a 90% or something. But we're completely out. But what I'm gonna do in the meantime, before I get started with dinner, is actually just have some kombucha. Like I was talking about before, kombucha is like one of my favorite treats. It feels like such a treat to have it because you feel like you're having soft drink, but it's good for you. So it's good for your gut health, has all of that healthy probiotic bacteria. And this is one of my favorite flavors. So this is by Low Bros and it's their peach flavor. I love peach flavored anything. So I'm gonna have some kombucha and probably do like a tiny bit of editing or just chill out and then have a shower and then make dinner. So yeah, that's the plan. By the way guys, my tip for making cauliflower yummy when you roast it is to cut it into small tiny florets so that it's not too chunky, because if you just literally took like this piece of cauliflower and tried to roast it, it's not going to be very tasty. So pro tip, make your cauliflowers nice and small. Okay, so I am all showered and my dinner is ready, so I'm gonna eat, but I might as well sign off the vlog here. So hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Let me know if you want to see more workouts in our videos, because I'm getting used to filming workouts. It's quite tricky, to be honest, just trying to find like places where you can position a camera. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps people find our videos. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe, and follow us over on Instagram if you're not already. We're at cultivate_beauty, and otherwise I will see you guys in our next video. Bye.